Let's speak to Dr. Alan Worsley, who's from Cancer Research here in the UK. Dr. Worsley, thank you very much indeed for joining us. We've seen the headlines this morning. What do you make of these claims with your expert opinion?
Well, these are very exciting results, but as you say, it's important to remember this is still early days. We're still trying to figure out exactly what we can do with this type of technology. So effectively, what they're doing is they're taking immune cells from the body and re-engineering them, retargeting them so they go after cancer cells. Now, because the way we're tinkering with them, there's a lot of questions and a lot of challenges we need to face. How do we make them as safe as possible? How do we make them as effective as possible? And how do we make them last as long as possible? And that's really what this particular work was looking at, is trying to make sure we can do this in a way where those cells that we put back into the patients go on to live as long as possible to hopefully provide long-lasting treatment.
So this is very different from chemotherapy and radiotherapy and standard drug treatment. Can you just, from what you've heard about it, how would you simply explain what it is? How does this compare?
Well, so it's sort of been described as a living drug, in that, in effect, you're taking these immune cells from the body and you're retargeting them. Then you're putting them back into the patient, and then in hope, and it seems to work quite well here, these T cells will seek out and destroy any cancer cells that carry the target that we've suggested. Now, it's important to remember that standard treatment, chemotherapy and radiotherapy, are usually quite effective for these cancers. So they're usually sort of 70 to 90% effective. So this is being used in patients where that hasn't worked. Now, it's fantastic to have this kind of backup treatment, but in terms of using this more regularly for blood cancers, let's say, would we start with this treatment? Or the big question, can we use this type of treatment in other cancers? That's something we're still addressing. We've still got a few challenges to overcome, but this has come